Hey, I'm Keely, and in this video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about renting a camper van and staying at campsites in Iceland. Me, my boyfriend Jared, and his cousin Yoshi went to Iceland this June, and we rented a camper van for our 5-day trip along all of South Iceland. I have another video going over everything that we did and ate, so if you're interested in more than just the camper van, watch my other video linked below. I chose rent.is for our 3-person camper van because they have a lot of good reviews. I booked it online 2 months in advance and it cost us 166,000 krona, which includes the max insurance coverage option of 6,900 krona per day. This covers almost everything, includes an extra driver for free Wi-Fi, etc. The basic lowest insurance is free/included in the price of the van, but it only covers the collision damage waiver. The 3-person van that we got is called Renault Traffic 3. It's an automatic 2-wheel drive, so you can't take it into the highlands, but they have 4-wheel drive options if that's what you're looking for. The van came with 3 sleeping bags and pillows, a fridge, 3 chairs and a table, pots, pans, dishes, cutlery, a little camping stovetop, the built-in heating system, and the pocket Wi-Fi that came with the max insurance. There is a free shuttle to and from the airport, but if it's busy, they'll only take the driver to pick up the van. This is because multiple different brands use the same shuttle, so it isn't just rent.is's shuttle. This happened to us, but they mentioned the possibility in the email that they sent before we arrived, so it didn't sketch us out. To plan out my trip and get an idea of which campsites I wanted to stay at, I used the Happy Campers website, which has a map of all the campsites in Iceland with info about each of them, like which seasons they're open, prices, if they have electricity, etc. It was really helpful, and I'm putting the link down in the description, so check that out. I didn't book any campsites in advance, and I had no problem getting a spot at the ones I chose. On our first night, we stayed at the only free campsite in Iceland called Skaftafell Camping. It doesn't have an electricity option, but there's 2 bathrooms and a shower here, which costs 500 krona per person. For the other campsites, we always arrived after their reception hours were over, so we weren't able to pay on the night that we actually stayed there. This isn't a problem though, and they're used to this happening. It doesn't change anything, you still find a spot and plug into the electricity, and as long as you pay the next morning when the office opens, it's fine. For the second night, we stayed at my favorite campsite of the trip, Skaftafell Camping. It was really pretty here, and you can hike to Skaftafell and also walk up to a glacier and lagoon that's here. It cost 2,800 krona per person, and electricity was 1,500 krona per day. There's also a 400 krona fee per car. They have really good bathrooms and showers here, along with a free washer and dryer that you can use. The shower areas are individual stalls, but it's important to note that the whole big room is open to all genders. There aren't 2 separate shower rooms. It didn't feel weird or anything, just important to note for some cultures that haven't experienced that before. We didn't get to hike to Skaftafell because of limited time, but we did walk to the glacier around 11 p.m. at night, and it felt like we were on a different planet. The midnight sun plus that giant glacier and lagoon, it felt pretty surreal. It's also important to note that there are some campsites that take cash only, especially if they have coin showers. None of the ones that I went to required cash, and all of our showers were included with the price, except for the first free one. But if you look on Happy Camper's website, it will tell you if they require cash, so that's very helpful for planning. Another thing to note is that you will need an international driver's license if your license isn't written in English/the Roman alphabet. We have a US license and it was fine. You drive on the right side of the road here, and the speeds are in kilometers per hour. Another tip that you might not think about, since we went in June and there was no nighttime, it was pretty bright when we were trying to go to sleep. So if you're sensitive to light, you'll need to bring an eye mask. The third campsite that we went to was in the Golden Circle, and it was called Fludir Campsite, which is very close to Runalog Hot Springs. It costs 2,200 krona per person and an additional 1,000 krona per day for electricity. They have free showers, and there is a washer and dryer that you can use for 600 krona. Another fun tip that I didn't see anywhere before I went to Iceland is that when you go somewhere that has a parking fee, most of these places scan your tag and you'll get a ticket if you didn't pay for parking. When you drop off the van, they'll tell you have a ticket and you have to pay them. We got one for forgetting to pay, and it was almost 4 times the price it would have been to just pay for parking while we were there. So pay attention to signs, don't park illegally. The last campsite that we stayed at was Happy Campsite Keflavik, right by the airport. It cost 1,900 krona per person, plus a 400 krona fee per person, and electricity was an additional 1,000 krona for the day. The campsite has you pay online, so it's more convenient if you get there really late or if you need to leave super early for your flight. In total, the campsites we stayed at would have costed 11,200 krona, including electricity for one person in a camper van. And we also spent right under 35,000 krona on gas. Overall, renting a van was perfect for us considering everything that we wanted to fit and was able to fit into our 5-day trip. If you're interested in a budget breakdown of everything that we spent, check out my other video linked below, and if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching!